Students, this video is about cell. Today we will study discovery of cell, cell theory, about the size and number of cells and shape of cell. So let's start with cell. You might have seen walls in your room. That walls are made up of bricks. So the unit of wall is brick. In the same way, body of each organism, whether it is a plant or an animal, is made up of units known as cells. So, cell is a fundamental, structural and functional unit of all living beings. So all living beings are made up of cells. Now we come to discovery of cell. Discovery of cell started with the invention of microscope. The first and the most simple microscope was made by Leeuwenhoek. He used only one lens in his microscope, and that lens was a biconvex lens. So he observed little microscopic organisms in pond water with the help of that microscope. You can see the picture of this microscope. It is a simple microscope. After Leeuwenhoek, the better than the Leeuwenhoek's microscope, was made by Robert Hooke. Robert Hooke used two lenses in his microscope, as we use two lenses in the compound microscope. You might have seen a compound microscope that we use in lab. So, the microscope that was made by Robert Hooke was not exactly like the microscope that we use in lab, but it was a simple type of microscope that was having two lenses in it. So with the help of this microscope, Robert Hooke observed a very thin slice of cork under it, and he observed small box-like structures in that, and he called that box-like structures cells. So we consider that the discovery of cell was done by Robert Hooke in 1665. Now we come to the cell theory. Cell theory was proposed by two scientists, Schleiden and Ch-1. Schleiden was a German botanist and the Ch-1 was German zoologist. Both of them said that Schleiden said that plants are made up of cells, and Ch-1 said that animals are made up of cells. So both of them formulated a theory. That theory is known as cell theory. The major points of cell theory are: number one, the cell is the smallest unit of structure of all living things. Second, the cell is the unit of function of all living things. The third point was added by Virchow in 1858. He said that all cells arises from pre-existing cells. It means the cells that are already present that divide to form new cells. So these 3 points are known as cell theory. Now, you might have a question in your mind that the cells of elephant are bigger in size or the cells of mouse are bigger in size. Remember, the cells are always small in size. Elephant cells are also small in size. The difference is the elephant has more number of cells in comparison to mouse. Mouse is a small animal. It doesn't mean that it has smaller cells than elephant. Elephant is a big animal. It doesn't mean that it has bigger cells than the mouse. So only the differences of number. Elephant has more number of cells in comparison of mouse. Now, this small size of cell is very useful for animals. There are some important things which are carried out due to this small size of cells. Number one, this small size of cells helps in diffusion of different things through the cell rapidly. Number two, the small cells have large surface area volume ratio. Due to this large surface area volume ratio, the metabolic waste from the interior to the outside of the cell can be carried out rapidly. There can be rapid exchange of gases also. So, this small size of cell is very helpful for the animals. Now we come to the shape of cells. All the cells are not alike. Cells are different in shapes. You can see the figure in your book. You can see the figure here. Different type of cells are there. Some cells are cuboidal in shape, some are circular, some are elongated, some are bean shaped, and some are irregular in shape. So size may vary. In human beings also, the different cells are of different shape. Now, there are some organisms which are made up of only one cell. These organisms are called unicellular organisms. Example is amoeba, bacteria, or yeast. There are some organisms which are made up of only few cells, very small number of cells. Example is Spirogyra or Volvox. There are many organisms which are made up of many cells. These are called multicellular organisms. For example, human beings, mango tree, etc. So today we will study this much only. In the next video, we'll study about the structure of a cell.